Govind sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
Sir, shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So good afternoon to all the participants. Now the session is all about accreditations and teaching learning process. We have a speaker with us. Sir is Dr. L. Govindarao sir of GMRIT. And sir, moreover, sir is taking care of IQAC of GMRIT. So in this context, I invite Dr. T. Geeta ma'am to introduce a guest to all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. It's my immense pleasure to introduce today's guest. Dr. L. Govindarao is currently working as Associate Professor, Department of ECE, GMRIT. He did MTech from NIT Tiruchi and received his PhD from NIT Roorkela. He is in the teaching field for 16 years and associated with industry for 2 years. He published few papers in the reputed SCI journals and conferences. His area of research is algorithm to architecture mapping and ASIC or FPGA implementations. He is coordinating the IQAC GMRIT since 2019 and played a key role in the SSR submission to NAC and its assessment process for the cycle of 2015 to 20. Now I am requesting Dr. L. Govindarao to take over the session.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all the participants. I thank the department, HOD, organizers for giving this opportunity to present, to share my observations on teaching learning process assessed by the accreditation councils or boards. So here I'll be presenting the case studies, and I'm not going to present any part of the SOP by any accreditation board or council, but these are just some case studies I'm going to keep in front of you. And also these are whatever the methods or process I'm going to presenting in this presentation are just indicative or one of the sample case, some of the sample cases. So with this, I'm going forward to share my observations with you. In this presentation, we are going to see a few areas where the accreditation boards or councils assesses the TLP adopted by any institute. So here, not just these parameters. So out of the parameters where they're assessing, I'm presenting few of those. So in this presentation, I'm going to focus on the assessment of student learning levels, student-centric methods, usage of ICT-enabled tools, and preparation and adherence of academic calendar and teaching plans, attainment of program outcomes and course outcomes, and teaching learning process for effectiveness. So in these areas, the NAC and NBA are assessing. Okay, so these are the few of the metrics, assessment metrics considered by the NAC and NBA. So this presentation helps to the audience even they when they prepare their SAR or SSR. Okay, and under these metrics, this gives some idea to prepare the SAR and SSR for these particular metrics. And most of course, most of the things I'm going to present are in practice and known to all of us. Yeah, the first point is the assessment of student learning levels. Yeah, this point considered by the NAC. So here the assessment student learning levels are to be identified because the students comes from various cross section and comes from different demographies and all. So based on their backgrounds and all and their IQ levels and their capacity to learn. Okay, their learning capabilities are different. So the same lecture to all the students may not be effective all the times. So of course, I do agree we cannot teach one-to-one every time, but it is mandatory to identify the slow learners and advanced learners. So which will be there on either side of the bell curve, that Gaussian distribution. Okay, so for these two set of the students and in between, most of the students are average students. So for them, we need not bother much beyond the regular classwork and regular methods which we take to deal with them. Now the slow learners and identifier learners. So these are the two important categories of the students with respect to their learning levels. So they need the special treatment beyond the regular classwork. So now how to identify? So first let us see the identification of the slow learners. So this is one of the case probably you may interact with me in this session. So I am just presenting one case, a few cases before you in under each category. So this is one practice to identify the slow learners. So that is right from the beginning of every semester. Right from beginning of every semester, we can continuously monitor the student and we can continuously assess the students' learning levels based on their interaction in the class and also especially for slow learners, no, so they will not interact much. So that we can identify them out of their performance in internal or mid examinations. Okay, of course, even in class tests also. Based on the score required, based on the marks scored by them, so we can identify. But there we should set some threshold for that. So here, in the study where in the case study, so where I observed the threshold is set for 60%. So the students who got below the 60% can be treated as the slow learners. Okay, so the significant results that institute seen. So I consider this as a threshold. One of the you may based on your student pool and conditions. So one can set this threshold, but this is one of the method, the monitoring the students, okay, and their performance in the mid exams. So we can identify the slow learners. Upon identifying the pool of the slow learners, okay, so what are the programs we can conduct so to uplift them? So here are some indicative ideas. So upon identifying them as the slow learners, we can conduct the makeup classes in parallel to the regular classes. Okay, so for the students who are identified as the slow learners. And to them, additional assignments apart from the classwork can be given, and along with that, additional inputs also should be given by the teacher. Okay, and then after the completion of the course, okay, so then we have to see the their performance improvement in their performance in the end semester examination. So definitely the result may not be 100%. Out of these slow learners, the result can be 50%. So remaining out of the slow learners, I'm telling. So these 50% students again to be taken care by the teacher, and we have to take the remedial classes for them, and we have to maintain the track sheets for all the students, and we have to conduct some special classes for them, and again we have to ensure 90% of those slow learners are attending to our classes and those are following the classes. Okay, so then and we have to prepare them for the supplementary exams. And then, so this is a continuous process. Okay, so in that way, yeah, beyond the remedial classes, and another point is most of these kind of students will have some disturbances. Okay, probably such kind of disturbances may distract them from their academics. So it is also mandatory to counsel them, okay, periodically by using by their mentors. Okay, so these are some ideas, okay, to improve the performance of the slow learners. So participants can respond now. And apart from this, do you suggest any idea for improving the performance of the slow learner or uplifting the slow learner? So this is the platform where all teachers are gathered. So the ideas if shared, and that will be helpful to all. That's okay. So then identification of, then that is about the identification of the slow learners and the programs to treat them, okay, to improve their performance. At the same time, as we initially seen, so out of that bell curve, the most of the pool, okay, our lecture is normally focused on this pool of the students. Okay, so and we just discussed the measures for the slow learners. Then what about the advanced learners? The input that we normally give in the class may not be sufficient for the advanced learner. They need more. So how to identify them? So identification of the advanced learners also is important. So this can be done. This identification can be done based on the continuous monitoring of the students and how they are engaging in the class. The advanced learner, the style of engagement in the class will be definitely different. They will be most of the times interactive, and how they are having the spirit of inquiry, and how they are involving in the tutorials, and when we are giving the problems or class tests, how they are performing, and how they are exhibiting their skills, and how they are participating actively in the lab classes, and in various how interest they are showing or into they are exhibiting in participating various competitions and the professional body activities. Apart beyond this, curricular and co-curricular activities. Okay, so based on these observations, we can identify the advanced learners. So upon identifying the pool of advanced learners, okay, some additional inputs they must be received. Okay, so for that, because these things we cannot give to all the students in the class. So then what are the programs for the advanced learners? So we can motivate them for attending the tech fests, which are organized inside the campus and out of the campus, and encourage them for opting for MOOCs courses. Okay, most of the MOOCs courses may improve their employability skills. Okay, because these courses, so we have to guide them to opt the MOOCs courses, okay, related to the contemporary technologies and the courses which are which improves their enhance their skill set and employability, and which will make them ready for the industry. So that is one activity can be done, and then other is yeah, this most of the autonomous colleges are having this program, this full semester internship and summer internship. In some places this is mandatory, some places it is not mandatory, but where it is not mandatory and where it is not in place. Okay, so giving an option to these advanced learners for going for full semester internship to the industry, okay, will be much helpful to them. This is one idea, and also not only the industry but also the universities abroad and the research laboratories, okay, may also gives them the okay exposure and that improves their kind of okay employability skills and their communication skills, and by that they will be their cross culture will be promoted. Okay, so this is one idea of about the providing the inputs to the slow learners, sorry, advanced learners. And another program is students can be encouraged to give seminars on contemporary topics. Okay, internally, that is to nurture their report writing and presentation skills. Okay, the advanced learner may not be always having good communication skills, or they may not be having good report writing skills. So in such case, yeah, it is always advantageous and add-on advantage to them. Okay, if we promote them and encourage them to okay, and ask them to give seminars and on contemporary topics, and also report writing kind of assignments. Okay, so that is one program. Okay, helps the advanced learners. And another program is students can be encouraged to develop computer programming skills to meet the market demand. So nowadays, this coding literacy is playing very important role. Most of the employability skill set, okay, covering these coding skills. So yeah, so advanced learners beyond the curriculum, it is advantages for them to if they are promoted for the programming kind of activities. And beyond this, for promoting them for higher education, a special coaching classes like GATE coaching and guidance for the GRE, TOEFL kind of things also help them. Okay, to help them and will promote them for the higher education and to be succeeded in the competitive examinations. So yeah, these are the some ideas. Okay, through which we can promote the advanced learner, and yeah, they will be benefited. Any other idea from your side? Okay, fine. Yeah, the next point where the accreditation boards or councils are looking at is the student-centric methods. The student-centric methods. So here, this is the list of student-centric methods: experiential learning, project-based learning, layered learning, self-learning, interactive learning, collaborative learning, and participative learning. Beyond this, any other methods are you following? Or any ideas you are having? Fine. Okay. Let us have some case studies on these student-centric methods. Yeah, this whatever I'm presenting here.
Sir, okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, most of the ideas I'm presenting here are it's not that you know so these are being demanded by the accreditation boards or councils. Okay, so just I'm keeping in front of you. Okay, I'm not demanding these things must be done by the teachers, but holistically this is what the accreditation boards are being expected. Okay, so they are expecting from the institutes. So these are the areas just I'm keeping in front of you. Someone was trying to express something. Fine. Yeah, student-centric methods. Let us have some case studies. And self-directed learning is one of the student-centric method. And here, for this, what one institute did, where that case where I studied, in that case, what they did is in their syllabus itself, in every unit, okay, some self-study topics are added. So by adding these self-study topics, okay, so in your continuous assessment exam, okay, so you dedicate some two questions to some two mark questions for these self-study topics. So then they will be and these two topics, these two are couple of topics from each unit. Okay, will not be covered by the teacher in the classroom, and they will explore the topic and they will learn there on their own. Okay, always teacher will be there to help them. Okay, if they in that process, if they have any issue. Okay, so that is one idea. And another idea of promoting the self-study is asking them for opting the MOOCs courses and also mandating that in the curriculum. Okay, so where they're supposed to do some MOOCs courses. That is a full course. And so in the case study, I observed where I observed is that someone. Excuse me.
ನನ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೆಲ್ಫಿಶ್ ನೋಡಿ ನೀವು
Yeah.
I think there is a disturbance, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I muted the participant.
Fine.
Yeah.
I hope you can understand that language.
Yeah. I muted it.
Yeah. So that is one idea. And then layered learning. So layered learning is through integrated courses. So here theoretical topics and practical topics both will be merged together from each unit. So there will be some experiment, okay, in the syllabus. Okay, so that you can interlace the theoretical topics with the lab component. So after learning that theory in the class, so in the followed in that same week or in the following week, okay, if student will do some experiment on it, so that comes under the layered learning. Okay, so again theory, then lab, then theory, then lab. So this is interlacing of the theory and practice layer by layer. So this can be treated as claimed as the layered learning. And coming to the experiential learning, yeah. So students will learn the things through their experience by attending the industries and okay, having their internship programs, either summer or full semester. Okay, so they will learn the things. So what actually happening in the industry, what is their what is their style of working, and yeah, what actually the difference between the things they are learning from the classroom and happenings in the industry in the real world. Okay, so it is the experiential learning. So we can claim this summer internship and full internship as the experiential learning. And next, another student-centric method is project-based learning. So this kind of project-based learning, yeah, we can claim augmented experiments in the laboratories as a project-based learning. So augmented experiments in the sense in the laboratory there will be a set of say 12 experiments are there. So beyond that, at the end of the course, okay, and of course we tell them in advance at the beginning of the course of the laboratory. We tell them the list of the augmented experiments. So these are like a mini projects. It is smaller than mini project, of course. Okay, so out of the experience out of the learnings they had in that lab course. So they will exhibit their skills in doing these augmented experiments. Okay, so they comes up with they comes with come up with some prototypes. Okay, so mostly in making these augmented tasks. Okay, so they apply the learnings they had in that laboratory. So this is the project-based learning. And coming to the interactive learning. Interactive learning, it is the interaction between the student and the teacher and among the students. So yeah, this will be there everywhere. Okay, some tutorial slots will be there. Some hours in the given semester will be dedicated for the tutorials. So there the students can be interacted and can be interactive. So through that interaction, when that, for example, teacher given a problem to solve, if the student is not able to solve their own, and they can take the help of their peer, or they may take the help of the teacher, and they may get some ideas. So this is different from in one-sided teaching and one-sided receiving and learning. Okay, so this kind of tutorial slots helps in the interactive learning of the student. And then the other student-centric learning is collaborative learning. Okay, so collaborative learning, that collaboration may be among the peers, or the collaboration may be among the student peers and students and the teacher, or probably the students and the industry persons. If it is the laboratory course, and this is the teamwork, right? So this is collaboration, a kind of collaboration among a group of students. Similarly, for augmented experiments also can be given to a group of students, that comes under collaborative learning also, and mini project also same, and full semester internship little different. So here they will be interacting with the industry people, and so that they will be collaborating with the industry people, and they learn the things. So this is the collaborative learning. And finally, the participative learning. In my case study observation, in these notes. So for every course, the faculty may prepare some notes in soft copy, and that can be uploaded into a particular website pool, pooled in a website, and at any point of time, the student can participate in that and learn from it, and they can view it or download it, and they can have the learning. So this kind of lecture notes topic wise will be there. Okay, will be floated by that particular faculty or course coordinator. Okay, and this comes under the participative learning. So this can be taken as the participative learning, and as I initially given the disclaimer, so these are completely my observations and my opinions, and these can be debatable. Why it should be lecture? How it is participative learning? Why can't that can be participative learning? Okay, so you can debate on it, of course. Okay, these are just indicators. And the next point is the usage of ICT enabled tools. Okay, so the accreditations on that that accreditation board assessments by accreditation board, they will also they are also looking at the usage of the ICT tools for the effective teaching. Okay, so then here we have to we are seeing what are all comes under these uses. Okay, what are all we can claim as the usage of ICT tools. Okay, we can claim the lecture capturing system. A lecture capturing system means there will be a dedicated camera, and okay, so mic will be given to the teacher, and that live class will be recorded, and that recording will be available to the student and also the teacher. Okay, that if some student is absent in that class, they can always have that class by watching that video. Okay, so that live will be recorded. Yeah, that kind of system is the ICT, and that is the ICT tool. Okay, So then TLP using that ICT tool is ICT. You can say that you are using the ICT tool for the teaching. And another things also, the online lecture notes also, video courses. You can capture your video courses and you can float it on your website, and you are in the sense your institute's website, and that is also comes under this ICT usage. And also the online classes. Okay, so just for example, I'm writing this on this screen, right? So just like you are writing on your that glass board or whiteboard. Okay, so you can take the online classes also. The student need actually really not needed to be in the classroom before the teacher. If both are connected, then that class can be happened online also at the convenient. So mostly, of course, the offline classes are going on, but to supplement this teaching learning, so this kind of online classes also help them and supplements their learning. So in that way, these tools, whatever you are using to conduct the online classes, can also be claimed as the ICT tools. And apart from that, guest lectures and expert talks, okay, and video conferencing, this facility is conferencing facility in our institute or in our department, or yeah, that facility can also be claimed as the ICT tool, okay, that is used for the teaching learning. Yeah, digital library can also be claimed as the ICT tool. Okay, so where the students can refer to the books and journals, magazines, okay, and other teaching that learning resources. Okay, yes, of course, the last one is everyone. So this ICT tool is popular, that is roof mounted, the LCD projectors, and yeah, that one, and smart boards, interactive projectors, interactive classrooms. Yeah, so these things, these facilities, when if we have, so we can claim as the ICT enabled tools. Then next point is preparation and adherence to the academic calendar and teaching plans. So how we are in advance preparing the academic calendar, and we are other to the plan also is very important. Okay, and yeah, this plan of course will be the template of the your teaching plan, and all will be that structure will be set in advance, and this plan is prepared in will in advance before having the teaching plan, and well in advance the academic calendar must be prepared. So then teaching plan will be prepared, okay, complying that academic calendar. And then if in case of the multiple sections, it should be ensured that uniform delivery is happening. Okay, so otherwise that when if that synchronism is missed, then this okay, sticking to the academic calendar will not happen. So we cannot convince that we planned something and we followed the same. Otherwise, we cannot convince this point, right? So for that uniform class delivery, we have to ensure, and that can be done by. So one of the practices to ensure that uniform delivery, you can you can interact with the students and ask them what about the syllabus coverage, whether across the sections it is happening uniformly or not, or slow learners and advanced learners having learning in that class or not. Okay, these kind of things that kind of feedback can be taken apart from the student feedback for the faculty. And then the effective delivery of the class. Okay, so here, this is the process. Okay, which convince that that academic calendar is prepared in advance, and that is adhered. Okay, so that is followed. So here I'm showing a sample teaching plan. So this starts with the course description and objectives of the course. Okay, so what actually this course is intended for, and the study material and the course content, followed by the plan. Okay, so how many lectures you are planning for each lecture? What is the objective of your planning, and what is the objective of that class? And okay, what is the topic that you are covering in that class, and where that material is available? Okay, so this is plan in advance. So prior to the commencement of the classwork, this should be given to the student, and yeah, so that you will also understand. So what will be going ahead, and also that gives the plan of sessional exams and end exam. And if they're supposed to meet that course instructor, where to meet. So all these details will be there in that lesson plan. So along with the schedules, those schedules will be in line with the academic calendar. So this is one sample process. And the attainment of program outcomes and course outcomes. Yeah, for this attainment, so most weightage is there in the NBA. Then NAC. Okay, so this attainment calculation and assessment of this attainment. Okay, to have this, so this is the process flow. First, we have to identify the program outcomes and PSOs. So these program outcomes are already formulated by the National Board of Accreditation. Okay, so these 12 POs can be directly adopted, and PSOs, okay, program specific outcomes must be defined by aligning with the domain specific skills. Okay, so in that way, total 12 POs and 2 PSOs will be identified. Okay, will be formulated, and then yeah, identification of the courses, okay, which are hitting these POs. So in each course, that course actually we just see in the COs, right? So where that CO is hitting the PO. Okay, so ultimately, what are all the courses, okay, which are how they are mapping to the POs, at what level they are mapping to the POs. That identification should be done upon the formulation of the POs and PSOs, and then yeah, at what level will you attain the program outcome? Okay, so that is nothing but setting the target. Okay, so then when do you assess? Of course, at after the end examination, we'll assess. Okay, we'll calculate the CO attainment. And finally, after reviewing of the batch, particular batch, we'll calculate the attainment of POs and PSOs. And then upon attaining the PO attainment, we'll compare this PO attainment with the previous batch if the regulation is same. Whether are we going upwards or downwards? If anywhere decline is there, then what are the remedies we have to take? That action plan for action to be taken must be documented there. And this is the standard practice for. It's not, I can say, the standard practice, but this is one of the okay, good practice followed by some cases. Okay. Yeah, you can also be interactive and express if any better process if you see. Then let us narrow down it and how to calculate this. And there are two kinds of tools: direct assessment tools and indirect assessment tools. Okay, to calculate the CO attainment, thereby to calculate the PO attainment. So direct assessment tool. Okay, so this project and Vivos examinations and internship examinations and theory examinations, laboratory examinations. So how their students are performing. Okay, so how they are performing for each question, how they are okay, how they are performing and where that question is hitting the CO. So here I will show you one sample case. Here, for example, just before we seen the self-study topics and those self-study questions on these self-study topics are given here. So this is mid-exam. So this is for 2 chapters. So 1-2 mark questions definitely will come from that self-study topic. At the end of every unit, some 2 to 3 topics will be given. OK, let us come back to this question paper and how this is hitting. Each question is hitting the COs. And for example, this first 2 mark question is at understand level. This is hitting CO4 and so on. OK, so based on their performance in this, OK, and you can calculate the CO attainment at end of the semester. OK, so similarly, there will be rubrics for YOS examination and project work full semester examination. Okay, so from there you can calculate. You can have the CO attainment. Okay, so all these are the direct assessment tools, and coming to the indirect assessment tool. So to calculate the PO attainment, yeah, 80%. Yeah, there is one good idea, giving 85% of weightage to the direct assessment and 15% weightage to the indirect assessment, where indirect assessment will be like surveys. OK, so taking the survey from the outgoing students and alumni and employers and sharing their views on how this curriculum is really hitting the program outcomes. OK, so based on their survey feedback, OK, so you can consider that 15% of that feedback and 85% of the student direct performance, and all together will give the score for the PO attainment. Yeah. Now let us see the sample tools to calculate this, to have the CO attainment and PO attainment. So let us first see how CO attainment can be calculated for the mid exams. So this is the list of students, and this is their score in the mid 1 exam, and this column is score in the mid 2 exam. Mid 1 exam hits the CO1 to CO3, mid 2 exam hits the CO4 to CO6, and that final assignment test or comprehensive test hits all the COs. OK, so their scores are this, and from there we can calculate the class average. And class average, for example, mid 1, the class average is 19.37, in mid 2, average is 14.85, and comprehensive it is 7.42. OK, so the students, how many students scored above that class average will gives the attainment for CO1 to CO3 if it is for mid 1, CO3 to CO4 to CO6 if it is the mid 2, CO1 to CO6 if it is the comprehensive. So in that way, we can calculate the attainment for the continuous assessment test. And here I'm showing the semester end assessment tool. Here again, the list of the students in each student. For example, the question paper is composed of part A and part B. In part A, around 6 2-mark questions are there, and in part B, again, 8 questions are there. Of course, 4 they supposed to answer, so options will be there, and yeah, each question big question will be partitioned into, I mean, we'll have two splits. One is for 6 marks and there is for 6 marks, let us say. So in that way, these are the, here I'm showing the marks allotted for each question, and here against each student. So these numbers are indicating the marks they got for the given question. Okay, so and also along with each question, what is that CO that is hitting also is mentioned, and okay, and from there again class average will be calculated, and from there the attainment percentage of the attainment will be calculated. And for CO1, for example, here yeah, CO1 may appear in more than one places. In, for example, here in this question, for this question, the same CO, these questions are hitting the CO1. So their attainments for CO1. In the first question, they got attainment of 73.24. In the second question, they got 48.23, and so on like that. So average of these gives the CO1 attainment. Okay, so this is the calculation of the CO attainment for the end semester exam. And coming to the overall calculation. So here for mid 1, the attainments are given. For mid 2, attainments are given. Assignment test attainments are given. The CO wise. Okay, so overall internal exam and semester end exam. Okay, that yeah, according to the marks weightage, the total attainment for CO wise is given. Average of all these COs gives the course attainment. So in this way, the course attainment can be calculated. Finally, for PO and POSO attainment, here you can see. So now the student names or numbers are not there. Then courses list is there on the left side column, and their respective course attainments also given. Okay, by the time of the syllabus framing, okay, so each what are the COs and where the COs are at what level those are hitting the POs will be defined at that time itself. And now based on the attainment level, that based on the course attainment level, and for the given PO attainment level, and weighted sum average will be taken. So like that, for every PO, the attainment can be obtained finally. Okay, this can be calculated at the end of the, I mean, when one particular batch completed their study. So for them, we can calculate this. And this is the PO attainment in terms of the percentage. So this is the PO attainment in terms of the levels. Okay, the maximum level is 3. Okay, so like that here, by using this Excel formula, so all the values in terms of the levels are dragged here, out of which, as we already seen, 80% of this, 85% of this 2.40 is 2.04 here, and remaining 15% is there. No, alumni survey 5%, employer survey 5%, program exit survey 5% weightages will be taken. So here alumni survey attainment is 2.15, employer survey attainment is 2.15, and program exit survey attainment is 2.15. So 5% of each will be taken, all will be summed up. Finally, for PO1, 2.3 attainment of 2.35 is obtained here on the 3 scale. So in this way, PO attainment can be calculated. So we seen what is the question paper structure and how that is connected to POs, but we have not yet seen the survey templates, right? So these are some indicatives I'm showing here. For example, this is sorry, yeah, this is one survey form, program exit survey form. This is, so here all the POs will be listed. Okay, this is for a given a specific department. Okay, and PSO depends on that particular department, and student will give the score here. So what is their in their view how this PO is hitting? Okay, after completion of the course. Okay, so how they are able to perform in this area. Okay, in the engineering, how to what level apply. I mean, how they are applying the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals in solving the complex problems. So like that, how do they able to do the problem analysis? How do they design and develop the solutions? Okay, based on okay, their understanding and their assessment, self-assessment. Okay, so they will be given rating to this because this complete curriculum made them to stand at that position, right? So in this way, finally this will be translated to 3 scale, and average score will be translated to 3 scale, and the indirect this program exit survey attainment will be obtained, and this is the alumni survey form. So the same questionnaire will be given to the alumni. Similarly, the same questionnaire will be given to the employer. Okay, so here the practice is these forms will be floated on the website, and the request mail will be sent to the alumni or employer. If it is program exit survey, by the time students stepping out, then the form will be physically given to them, and in that way the indirect assessment is done. So upon doing that, just now you see the way of calculation in the attainment sheet. Okay, 15% of this score will be taken and 85% of the direct assessment score is taken. So these are not benchmarks. So these are just convincing threshold values. That's it. So these are not the values told by any accreditation board or agency. Okay, so that is about the attainment calculation. Case study of the attainment calculation. And finally, teaching learning process for effectiveness. So the effective teaching learning process also being assessed by the accreditation boards. Okay, so here, this is this is a two-dimensional thing. So effective teaching, effective learning, both should be there. So to assess the effect, these are the indicative practices for effective teaching. And first one, that teaching of a course starts with preparation and preparation of the teaching plan and adherence to the academic calendar, and to promote the students for their holistic growth. We have to prepare the event calendar also for conducting co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Okay, in line with the academic calendar, we should also prepare the course handouts, teaching plans and diaries. So as I shown as one sample case, and also to make them to think and to bring their skills out. Okay, so adding the augmented experiments also will leads to the effective teaching, and also home assignments and class tests also part of the effective teaching, guest lectures also. And apart from this, following few of the best teaching practices. And then coming to the learning dimension. Okay, to have the effective learning, so the students should be profiled first. So their slow learners, advanced learners should be identified. Okay, to make them to learn effectively, and remedial classes should be taken for the slow learners, and we should motivate the advanced learners for better upliftment. Okay, by motivating them to participate in the competitions, and by seeking the students' feedback, so that it is very important, student feedback. So to have the effective learning, he should understand the lecture, no? So that feedback is very helpful even for the teacher and the student for effective teaching learning process. And the usage of ICT tools also leads to the effective learning, and posting the lecture notes on the websites and posting these handouts and syllabus on website also helpful for the effective learning. And making the students to participate in competitions leads to effective learning, and promoting them for collaborative learning. Okay, through mandating the projects, mini projects and term papers also leads to the effective learning, and by motivating them to participate in professional bodies and club activities, that is peer learning, also leads to the effective learning, and by following some best practices in learning. Okay, so these are the some best practices I seen, okay, for effective teaching and learning. And best practices for teaching, I said no. So some of the practices I observed are FDPs for competency enhancement. Okay, so like this, and workshops and seminars for technology updates and to fill the gaps. Okay, because we studied the things long back, and we keep updated with the contemporary technology by participating in seminars, workshops, apart from web browsing. And yeah, of course, faculty and student involvement in the governance, and this may not be much related. Okay, incentives for research promotion also is one important thing to improve the teachers' capacity building. And coming to the effective learning process, yeah, best practices are maintaining the student councils and participating, making the students to participate in placement activities, participate in departmental development, and participate in student-centric community engagement. Okay, usage of online resources. Okay, so these practices, okay, I observed as best for okay, effective learning. So impact analysis after all this, following all these practices, okay, we have to see the outcome, right? So that impact analysis we have to do for teaching learning. So some of the practices are sample practices are shown here. Yeah, by observing the subject-wise students' attendance and performance. Okay, and how many students, by observing how many students are crossing the class average and how many students are clearing the end semester examinations. Okay, and what is the percentage, pass percentage of the overall semester? How much percentage of the students are involving in curricular and co-curricular activities? Okay, how many students are participating in placements, okay, national and international competitions? Okay, these statistics gives us the picture of effective teaching learning, and how many are going for entrepreneurship, how many are going for higher education. Okay, not only that, coming to the faculty, what is that research credentials of the faculty, and what is the research credentials of the, what are the research credentials of the students? So these also helps in understanding the effectiveness of the teaching and learning process. So yeah, I'm done. Any questions from the participants? Fine, thank you. I'm handovering the session to the organizers.
Yes, sir. So any participants, anybody wants to interact with resource person? Now it is the time for the chorus. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So thank you for sparing your time with us, to all the participants, and you have keenly touched the entire process for an outcome-based education and what are the procedures to be followed with effective teaching and learning. And you have shown clearly with all the case studies. So here I have one question, sir. In Telegram group, one of the participants raised a query.
Yeah.
Sir has asked about, is the action taken means explanation from the faculty of not attaining the CO?
No, it is not explanation. It is action taken is actually what to be done to again uplift that attainment. It is not why it is not attained, what is the not searching for reasons. It is for what can be done further to improve this attainment. It is already declined. It is expected to be go upwards, but it came downward, right? So, or at least it is not attained the expected level. So what are the setbacks? Okay, setbacks in the sense maybe that may not be the fault of teacher also. It is not documenting the fault of teacher. So what to be done? Okay, so that action to be taken, we have to write there. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yes,
Thank you for the insight. Sir, I have I need one view on how to take up employer survey, which is an indirect tool of assessment. So
okay.
I just need some idea about it, sir.
So employer survey here, 1 minute, ma'am, I'll show you. Yeah, for example, this is one sample form. So you can request the employer by sending this form or by floating this in your website and by sharing the link with them. Okay, they can directly, yeah, normally no industry people, they will not take pain to fill it and post it. Yeah, so if you can float this form on your website itself and if you share the link to them, so there itself they can put the thing, give rating by clicking dots. Okay, by whether 5 or 4 or something. And finally, for example, you received this from 100 employers, let us say. So out of 100, some may give 5, some may give 4, some may give 3, right? So the average value you will get. Okay, if you convert this 5 to 3 scale, that average value also should be converted to the 5 to 3 scale. So, got it, ma'am. So after that, the PO attainment form in this tool, no? So that you can keep here. So for example, employer survey here 2.15 score is obtained. Okay, so but in final calculation, of course, this 5% of this 2.15 we are taking here. Okay, similarly 5% of this alumni survey and exit survey. So and finally we'll get the overall attainment.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
you. Sir, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Nityanandam.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, my doubt is actually we are using direct assessment tool to calculate the program outcome for the particular batch.
Yes, yes, sir.
And also we are including indirect assessment tool for some percentage.
Yes.
In what way the alumni survey will be helpful to get the attainment for the particular batch? Because alumni he has been passed out. So yes, how it will be helpful to the COPO attainment for the particular batch?
Not CO attainment here.
PO attainment.
Yeah, PO attainment. Yes, sir. Compared to this program exit survey, we are taking from our just outgoing students. No, their maturity levels will be increased. So after going there and that is, we have to give them certain time, right? So to apply how they are. Even they have to observe themselves how they are solving the problems, how they are applying their basic knowledge to solve the problems. Okay, so to get that idea, at least they should work for the industry or wherever for some time, right? So their maturity levels will be increased. So they can also understand from where they acquired this knowledge, whether in graduation or from the society. If it is in the graduation, how much to what extent that is helpful in exhibiting that knowledge. Okay, so in that way, that is his performance of his knowledge, right? So under different baskets is nothing but different POs. Okay, so to what extent he is able to performing in those baskets. So he will be able to give definitely. So I believe that that feedback from alumni is have more quality than the just relieved student, because their maturity levels will be more. Alumni means not all the alumni, whoever, but for that particular regulation, whoever studied and went out. So that particular alumni. If regulation changes, courses may change.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Sir, this is Dr. C. Ramesh.
Yes, sir.
How are you fixing the PO targets, sir? For one batch, another batch, or a particular
The
batch?
targets, yes, sir. Initially, when we start the process, we can start from 60%. So for example, for every okay, down the lane, every year or every 3 years or 4 years, we can increase that because we have to improve, no, continuous improvement, right? So there is no specific formula for that, sir. There is no specific formula for that. That depends on your aspiration. So for the last batch, we had this attainment. If you self-set your target to 75% next batch, then that is up to you. The higher side values, no one will object, sir. Lower side values should not be.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, sir is asking about any reference we need to take, likewise, sir is asking, sir.
Yeah, reference here, sir. In fact, I did not see any reference. So like this, we have to observe many cases. So
Okay.
what is your institute did and what I am doing, what our peers are doing. So
Okay.
in that way. So to my knowledge, I'm telling.
Okay.
Yeah.
And added to that, Dr. Nityanandam asked about actually we are calculating the program outcome calculation in batch wise. But if while considering the alumni for a particular regulation, they may be in different year or different batch. How it will be counted as for calculating the program outcome of particular batch? That is what our doubt is.
If that regulation is not changed for a considerable duration of the time, no. So
Okay,
with that regulation, if multiple batches are passed out, no. So
Okay.
definitely alumni will be there.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, we are having a lot of debates regarding.
Yes.
to include
Normally it
alumni.
happens everywhere, sir. That is only healthy environment.
That's why the thing, sir.
Yes, understood.
Sir, and also whether the target PO target will be same for all POs or it will be variable. Whether we can vary the target or it will be fixed target, sir. As you said, 75% or 60%.
I seen the case where that is common, sir, for all the courses. But there are debates like, some of the courses, much attainments may not be possible. Okay, that problems are there, but yeah, that is debatable. But the case where I seen is they are following the uniform.
For PO.
PO, sir?
For POs.
POs also same, sir.
Same.
No, in some places for PO 1 to 5, that is for program wise, they are asking, they are keeping some percentage, and other than 6 to 12, they are keeping in some percentage. That's why we are having a lot of doubts, sir.
Pardon. So you are talking about the tool I shown?
Yeah, yes, sir. Actually, PO target we are fixing now, sir. PO target. Anyway, in some institute they have fixed as from PO 1 to 5. They have set as some target. From PO 6
that's
to
why. Yes. Yeah, that's why these things are debatable, sir.
Okay.
Why it is, why not? It is always debatable in this area.
Okay.
So things are not fixed. Yes, sir.
Similarly, for course outcomes, sir, we need to fix the target now, sir. Whether CO wise we can fix target, or for all COs we can fix same target.
For all COs, in the case I seen, all COs are same target, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
For your valuable things that you have shared to all.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to interact with the peers. Okay, and share my less experience with all you people. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So I request all the participants, the feedback link will be active for the another 45 minutes up to 5 p.m. And the same feedback link has been posted in the Telegram group also.